So let me get this straight. Their hero in chief is on the campaign trail talking about golden showers. Yes, that's right, y'all. A presidential candidate is on the campaign trail talking about golden showers.
What it is, this is the greatest witch hunt. It started with Russia. Remember that? He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night to go up and tell my wife, it's not true, darling, I love you very much? It's not true. Actually, that one she didn't believe because she said he's a germaphobe. He's not into that, you know? He's not into golden showers, as they say they called it. He's not. I don't like that idea. No, I didn't. I thought that would be a big problem. I was going to have a rough night, but that one she was very good on. She said, no, you're okay on that one.
So I guess their excuse would be him taking his power back. And they are laughing and applauding a man that's talking about hookers and golden showers. He has not told them what he's going to do for them as far as inflation. He hasn't talked about crime. The only crime he's talked about is who he's going to put in jail when he becomes president. He hasn't talked about a new health care plan. He hasn't talked about roads and bridges and buildings and jobs. He hasn't talked about any of that. He hasn't talked about taxes. He hasn't talked about helping the homeless to find housing in some kind of way. He hasn't talked about for everybody who's struggling to get into their homes, to stay in their homes now, how he's going to help them. He hasn't talked about rent control. He hasn't talked about any of the things that should matter to Americans. He hasn't talked about gas prices. He hasn't talked about how he's going to help immigrants, illegal immigrants in this country, how he's going to create an easier path for them to become legal in this country. Oh, but his flunkies have talked about how they plan on kicking out 10 million illegal and legal Americans in this country. His flunkies have talked about how they plan to garner control in this country. They've talked about how they're going to criminalize members of the LGBTQIA community. They've talked about how they plan on keeping Black people under control. They talked about continuing to erase Black history. They talked about how they are going to wipe out the teaching of Black history. They've talked about how they plan on keeping the minority in the minority while white people continue to advance in this country. Hell, one of their ways of doing it right now is to gut the Voting Rights Act. Yeah, that thing that we keep talking about, Project 2025, the one thing that all of you out there that are saying you can't scare me with Project 2025, and I keep sounding the alarm that Project 2025, it's not coming. It's already here. They're already implementing it. And I keep pointing to the state of Florida. Everything that Ron DeSantis has done is Project 2025. I pointed to Mike Johnson, one of their foot soldiers, one of the ones that helped to write Project 2025, how they have put him in place. And you people out there keep talking about, I'm not voting for Genocide Joe, where you're voting or not voting for genocide to happen right here in the United States. I'm watching it happen because I read Project 2025. I'm seeing the things that they're doing, the steps that they are implementing is Project 2025. If you're voting third party, you're voting for Donald Trump. If you're not voting, you're voting for Donald Trump. And once Donald Trump gets into the White House, there will be no more elections. They're getting ready to gut the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act that protects black people, minorities. Yeah, they're getting ready to gut that.